In this video, we're going to talk about why bank transfers take so long to show up in your account. So hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you stay educated on how your money works. If you're anything like me and you've ever had to transfer money from one bank account to another, you may have noticed how long it takes for that money to show up in your account. In some cases, when you transfer money, it can take 3, 4, 5, even 10 days for the money to show up. If you're transferring a large amount of money from an online savings account to a checking account, it can be frustrating to have to wait while the banks take their sweet time with your transfer or deposit. So why is it that these bank transfers take so long? What can you do to ensure that they happen as quickly as possible? First, bank transfers slow down to avoid fraud and to make some money. We live in an age where you can make a purchase at your local grocery store and have the charge show up on your bank account within minutes. But we can't transfer money from one bank to another in less than a few days. Wouldn't you think it would be possible to transfer money almost instantaneously? That probably is the case, but banks don't allow those instant transfers in order to reduce the risk of fraud. So banks are slowing down the process in order to ensure there isn't fraud happening when the transfer is made. Others, however, have suggested that the time the funds are held overnight allow the banks to invest your money and keep that unearned profit. This could be a reason why the process won't be speeding up anytime soon. The banks don't want to give up that profit center. So what exactly happens when you transfer money? First, your originating bank sends transactions in batches during the day to an automated clearinghouse. Second, the automated clearinghouse sorts the transactions and moves them on to the receiving bank, usually in a few hours. And third, in many cases, the receiving bank will have the funds the same day. Depending on when the transactions are sent in a batch, the funds may not be available until the next day. There is an association of these automatic clearinghouse that sets rules for transfers. That's called NACHA. The rules say that money transferred on one day should be available by the end of the following day. So if you send money on Monday, it should be available by the end of Tuesday. Now what about the 3-day good funds model? The problem is that the wait doesn't always end there. The receiving funds often take 2 to 4 business days for funds to be released to customers because they are following what they call the 3-day good funds model, which basically means they'll hold the funds for 3 days to make sure it's not a fraudulent transaction. Fraud, while only a small fraction of transactions, is still a big problem. There are over $3 billion in debit and check-related fraud in 2019. So yes, deposits take even longer at times. Deposits can take even longer to happen at times, in part because the banks want to ensure that the funds are good. They won't know that the funds are good until the money actually arrives, so many banks will hold deposits for up to 5 business days at a time, sometimes more. So be aware of that and know what your bank's policy is. So yes, you can plan ahead while transferring or depositing money. There are things you can do to ensure that you have access to your money as soon as possible. First, do your best to send your transfer early in the day to give yourself the best chance of the money being sent to the clearinghouse that day. Second, have a checking account from the same bank. Often transfers within the same bank will happen the same day. And third, if your transaction takes longer than a couple of days, complain to the bank where the transfer originated. If funds aren't credited quickly to the receiving bank, the originating bank can be fined by NACHA. When it comes down to it, your best bet is for having quick turnaround time on transfers and deposits is to either have a checking and savings account at the same bank, or to deposit a check using the bank's remote deposit feature, as those can have quicker turnaround times. So what are your thoughts? Do you see bank transfer holding times as a problem or not? Leave a comment down below and let's get a discussion started. And as always, take care of your money. Today's book of the day is Never Split the Difference by Voss. I'll leave a link to the book down below, and if you prefer listening to it on an audiobook for free, I'll also leave a link to a 30-day free trial to Audible. You can choose this book or any book to listen to, and even if you cancel before your free trial is over, you can still keep the book and listen to it whenever you want. Last thing before you go, a financial education is the most important kind of education you can give your kids. That's why I created Smart Money Parenting as a way to prepare you and your kids about the highs and lows of managing your own money. I'll leave a link to the course down below so you can check it out.